Hello there, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a mid-November 2022 reading for the sign of Cancer. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to see you here again. If you are a person who's been here before, you kind of know the deal. I'm just going to open up a general inquiry and ask, what does Cancer need to know? Mid-November 2022, what message does Cancer need to hear? Because even if something is not going on substantially in your life, there's always a message that we could use, right? And some cards of advice with that. So we are asking about Cancer. Cancer, mid-November 2022. Can you believe that Thanksgiving is just literally around the corner? Can hardly believe how this year has flown. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Let's see what's going on with you, Cancer. Whoa. You got a Nine of Spades here. This was a major disappointment. Major letdown. It might have had something to do with give me a second. It's a very strange or I shouldn't say strange, but a different kind of energy with this Eight of Hearts, which usually talks about going out and socializing and getting together with people that friends and family, people you're really close to, and then the potential to meet somebody really, really special. Who becomes significant in your life. I'm probably just going to have to keep my mouth shut and open and turn over these cards. But my first instinct with this was, you met somebody special, and it didn't turn out so well, huh? Okay, Jack of Diamonds. Well, you got something going on with your finances, or this was a younger Earth sign. Very possible. Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You could be dealing with some kind of financial situation that's new to you, that denoted by inexperience with the Jack of Diamonds, or it could be this younger Earth sign. Let's keep turning this up because I'm really curious now where this is headed. The Three of Hearts. It could be a third party involved in this emotional letdown here, something that's completed. You could have, you know what I'm hearing? You might have met somebody that that was significant to you. Things went really well, probably for a while. Found out there was another person. Yeah. And that's with the Nine of Spades. It's a completion, so it's over. You're not involved in that drama anymore. Let's keep going. Ten of Hearts. Yeah. I was just going to say, you're not involved with that drama anymore, and it's a good thing because that's not going to lead to your happiness. Ten of Hearts is all about happiness. This is like, this is literally like the best of all worlds. Getting what you wanted. It's celebrations. And perhaps you are celebrating. Perhaps you are celebrating, even though you had some kind of letdown, loss, disappointment. I definitely got to pull some cards about this, Cancer. Definitely got to pull some cards about this. Whoa! Did you see that? That was... yeah! Good grief, this is quite the reading. So the Two of Spades denotes some kind of separation from somebody, and it's permanent. It's not coming back. It's the exact opposite of harmony and balance. Something very unbalanced about that relationship, whatever it was, and it's gone. It's split spill. That's what Two of Spades always means, that. So you're definitely... I think you met somebody really, really with a lot of potential that really, really blew it. Four of hearts. Sorry. Um, Not sure. This wouldn't not connect with the two of spades necessarily. Okay, I just want to make that clear because this is actually very positive energy. It's about feeling loved and supported. So you know what it is? Despite the split, you got a lot of support around you. Yeah, and you're feeling very cozy and comfy in your life. It's not like this threw you for a loop, um, which is good to hear with a Cancer that doesn't always go that way. Cancers can be very emotional, very emotional. They get hurt, I wouldn't say pretty easily, but it becomes kind of a major ordeal, you know what I mean? So the split happened, and I think you're doing okay. And it's very possible, because there's no other pentacles out here, that it's a younger earth sign. Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Yeah. When I say younger, I don't mean like a child. I just want to make that clear before I go any further. It's just younger than you. Somebody maybe wasn't even, you wouldn't consider them your type, for example. Ace of Clubs. Well, this is good. This is a new start, a new beginning. With the clubs, you're looking at needing or desiring to learn new information, perhaps a new skill. It seems kind of unrelated to breaking off with this relationship, but maybe that's where you're putting your energies now, into learning some kind of new, well, it could be as broad as a career change, or learning a new hobby, or learning something on the side that you can start kind of making some money on the side, or, definitely not, it's definitely not a new start in love, let's put it that way, or relationships. Well, with the Three of Clubs here, again, we kind of had the third element, the third person. With this Three of Clubs, though, it does denote some significant struggle, kind of worry that you're going through, strife. It could be that you're still a little bit upset about what happened, and so this is kind of an internal struggle. Maybe in concentrating on this new start with this new information or skill that you want to acquire, there's a fight to keep focused on it. I'm kind of getting an impression, something like that. So that's where the struggle is. It's not like you're struggling. I don't think you're struggling with the person. The Two of Spades is like, it's done. You have gone your separate ways, and nobody's coming back. Two of Clubs. We got more clubs coming out here, and this is about harmony and balance, so it's good to see this. But the thing about this is that there's some kind of need for some communication. Probably not with that person that you split up with. I think it's more about what's on your mind, what you're experiencing, what you're going through, Cancer, because it did come out with that Three of Clubs, which talks about, the internal. I think the internal struggle. I don't think you're externally struggling or fighting with anybody or anything. There's some kind of communication that needs to happen with this, though. It will restore the balance and the harmony if you do. Get the feelings out. Don't bottle it up. Depending on your circumstances, I don't particularly think Cancer is prone to bottling their feelings up, but perhaps if you don't feel like you have anyone around that wants to listen, you find yourself in that situation. Oh, interesting. 10 of Diamonds. This talks about some kind of major completion that leads to major success and prosperity, abundance. It could be just the abundance that we're looking at. We didn't, except for this Jack of Diamonds, we weren't looking at career or finances or abundance or anything like that. But it did come out with that Ace of Clubs. So the Ace of Clubs came out 3 cards before this. The struggle and the need to communicate came after that, and then I think it's an interesting impression I'm getting. It's like sorry, whatever is wrapped up here, and that you're focusing in this new direction with that Ace of Clubs, it's going to lead to this success, and it's going to wrap up a cycle. So it's one of those situations I'm kind of picking up that I've talked about this in other videos, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but when we lock our energy up in one situation, like emotionally, being caught up perhaps in the drama of splitting up with this person, I feel like when we do that, we cause a blockage of energy in another area of our life. And it could be by you going through this process with this splitting up with this person that I don't think you knew very long. It just was really, really good. And they really affected you for a while. But I don't think this is like something that lasted years. Maybe a few months, but not years. I think you're going to unlock this. That's the point I'm trying to get to. I find it very interesting. You had the Ten of Hearts down here, and this came out originally with our first 4 cards, which is ultimate happiness and wish fulfillment. And this is actually about abundance and prosperity. It's like this process that you've gone through, Cancer. This is how I'm interpreting this. There still needs to be some communication. You need to get those feelings moving and flowing and out, the processing of it. But this whole experience is going to ultimately lead to great abundance and great happiness. Does that make sense? It's kind of just like one of those trials and tribulations we all go through from time to time to get us to a better place. And I'm still thinking it was a younger Earth sign. You may not have known their sign, so that would be unfortunate, because if you did, bingo, right? Let's look at your cards of advice. Wow, Queen of Diamonds. A lot of times I see her as the Taurus card. It's another Earth sign energy. Again, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But I see this as you, actually, because this is, with the diamonds, we're talking again about abundance and finance and really mastering that in some sense. Because Taurus, if you don't know much about Taurus, they're very good with money. Most of the ones I've known, they're very practical. They tend not to overspend. They have a good head on their shoulders about it. They're good at keeping up with finances. With the Queen energy, you are looking at somebody who has some authority and power. It's just a little gentler and a little more subtle than a King energy, for example. And again, we don't read genders. It's just about the intensity of that energy, right? The Three of Diamonds, again, you have a nice card here that talks about being comfortable with your finances. With this, there is a little bit of uncertainty, lack of clarity around finances, so perhaps, I don't know, maybe you're still trying to figure out how to balance your finances or work on a budget. It's funny though, because I didn't see anything where it said all of a sudden you had a windfall, but there's something to do here with finances that already exist and being in a very good position with that. Again, we got the Two of Diamonds and the Seven of Hearts. Two of Diamonds, let's first talk about that. Especially around partnerships or relationships. The Two of Diamonds talks about there being balance and harmony in a relationship and finances being really good. This is interesting with the Seven of Hearts, though. That's actually, again, kind of the broken heart energy. It's emotion around somebody letting you down. It's not quite as devastating as splitting up with somebody, or with this Nine of Spades. It's a little darker. This is just kind of I don't want to say your ordinary letdown, but not on a monumental scale. Um, Perhaps this person that you were involved with for however long it lasted, um, there was some kind of issue with money. Maybe you found out something, an attitude or something about them and money that ultimately broke up the relationship. It's kind of pointing in that direction. I don't know what that would be. I'm only seeing kind of the after effect and the internal experience that you've had with it. Like maybe their I'm just gonna throw this out there. So maybe their attitude towards money and yours just didn't jive. It was quite different, opposite ends of the scale. As an example, I'm not saying this is what it was, but some people can be overly materialistic, and some people are like, yeah, I enjoy my money, but I'm not greedy, and they're more generous, and they're more giving, and they're more apt to perhaps give to charities, where the other person's like, oh no, they're more selfish about it. It could have been a dynamic going on between you two, and it really upset you to the point of, oh yeah, this isn't going to work. This would never work. You can never be involved. I'm almost seeing the dilemma of one person being a Democrat, one being a Republican, and not maybe knowing when you first met them that this issue was going to come between you. Yeah. King of Clubs, Five of Spades. Five of Spades is the breakup card. Again, you have kind of a disruption in your lifestyle. I mean, I don't know that you lived with this person, but there's some kind of disruption implied with that Five of Spades. Now, the King of Clubs, it's a fire energy. So it's like an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo if it represents a person. You know what? The person that you might have been involved with might have been a fire sign. And this Jack of Diamonds that I kept thinking maybe it was a younger Earth sign. That could have been you having maybe oh yeah, that's what, it's actually kind of clicking with me what this is saying. The Jack of Diamonds was kind of you being inexperienced with money matters and partnerships. So you went into this relationship without any experience of having difficulties or disagreements with someone in the area of money or finance. Does that make sense? And that person could have been this fire sign. And I think Cancer, in general, is a more gentle energy than a fire sign, just because that's kind of the nature of the signs. I'm not saying fire signs are bad, because I'm one. But they could have been more controlling and dominating. And their attitude towards money wasn't going to change, and it was kind of like their way or the highway. It might have come to that situation, which led to this breakup. If you had any, any doubts of what really broke this relationship up, that's the confirmation right there. It was the control and the domination. It wasn't so much about money per se or the material aspect of it. It's always something deeper, right? It was that they wouldn't budge. I will say that the King of Clubs energy is typically not bad. They have pretty good sense about offering guidance, and they're a solid support to other people. It's just that I don't think, for whatever reason, you were jibing with this person. Nine of Clubs. So something has definitely completed here, and you're satisfied with it. Again, I kind of said that earlier. I don't think you're hanging on to this. You're moving on, even though it was upsetting and just a letdown and disappointment, and you got hurt. This is feeling satisfied with the outcome, but definitely a completion. Any more cards of advice for Cancer, please? Any more advice for Cancer? Eight of Clubs. Interesting. Um, this can mean a couple different things. So the first thing that we think about with the Eight of Clubs is there's some kind of fixed idea or stubbornness. Perhaps you are, this could just be a representation of your determination, being stuck on the idea that, this was meant to be, this is the right thing to do. Or the other thing about the Eight of Clubs, it's about having some kind of crossroads where you need to make a decision and you're not sure which way to turn. I'm kind of getting that maybe you weren't quite ready to put this to bed internally. Again, this is an internal experience for you. I think this reading is talking more on that, in that sense. About what went wrong, if you should have perhaps if you should have broke off with this person, was it really worth it? Again, this was a good person, at least on the outside, and in a lot of ways. This King of Clubs energy, they weren't inherently, an ass. That's my sense of humor, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? They were a good person, and I think maybe you're a little bit on the fence about, maybe you should try to patch things up, for example, or maybe that's crossed your mind. It's definitely Splitsville, though. Two of Spades. I will just reiterate that. It's definitely over. So that was something that was going through your mind. I don't think it's there. Eight of Spades. Oh my. So this is a lot of stress and challenges. It usually has to do with work. But it'll also go talk about opposition with other people. I think this is the quandary. I think you're just really kind of sad and disappointed that this person wasn't meant for you. And as a result, there's some stress around that. And remember, we did mention that there's some communication that needs to happen because you're still going through this struggle, this fight. Again, I think it's all internal. I don't think you're fighting with anybody. But you need to get those feelings out. Whether it's talking with this support you have, because the cards did confirm you have support and connection around you, whether it's family or friends. And it's definitely causing some mental, physical, emotional stress. I don't see this being related to work at all. I think it's around this relationship. Perhaps it's work. It's internal work. It's metaphorical work. It's not actual, like a job. It's the internal work of keeping this in check. Like maybe you've been struggling with keeping your emotions, in a comfortable place. I don't know how to say that. I get kind of the bottling up kind of vibe from it. Like you've really tried to ignore some of the emotions, and it apparently needs to come out, Cancer. It needs to express itself. You need to process it. You need to go through it to get out the other side and let go of this loss. One more card, though. I'm not satisfied with that ending. Besides going through the pain here, what else can you tell, Cancer? It's definitely behind you, and it's wrapped up a major cycle for you here. This Ten of Spades, when it comes out in advice, I always see it as it's definitely done. It's behind you. Going forward, it's not going to be nearly this bad, because this is a pretty dark card. It's a major loss. And again, this is about grieving and having to go through a process. I think you're being advised that you definitely need to grieve and process this more. And that will get you out of whatever struggle and fight you still have going on internally. Again, emphasize, I don't think you're fighting with anybody. I think it's all about you going through your feelings and whatever different I was going to say moods, but not moods, but different phases of that need to happen. Maybe you need to go through the anger phase, and you need to go through the sadness phase, and then you need to go through the, coming to terms with sometimes things are just not meant to be, no matter how strongly you desire them to work out or how hard you tried. Yeah, how hard you tried to make it work. It just wasn't meant to be. I think that kind of wraps it up. I'm going to end it there. Woo, it's kind of emotional for me, even. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it helped. If you want to know when the next reading comes out, make sure you hit subscribe notifications or save one of my videos so you can find my channel again. I say this periodically. I don't know if you've ever lost a channel because the YouTube search isn't great. You can't just plug in the name. I personally have gone through that where I've lost somebody's channel because I didn't save a video, so I couldn't find it again. So to avoid that, if you'd like to check in with me later, if you don't want to subscribe, I get it. Some people don't like to do that. But if you do hit the notifications as a subscriber, very conveniently, it'll let you know when the next reading comes out. Okay. Take care until I see you again, Cancer.